Getters and setters have two different flavors in JavaScript, the kind that existed before private attributes were a thing, and the kind that were introduced after private attributes. Pre-private attributes, getters and setters could only be defined for attributes that weren't already defined in your constructor. Here we have a person class with a constructor that takes in a name and a birthday. Commonly though, if you're storing user information like this, you'd want to know their age. You could use a getter for that. You would write it like a function, getAge. Then you would write out the logic. Make a date object for today's date, and a date object for the person's birthday. Then their age would be today's full year, meaning don't cut it off at 2 digits, minus the birthday's full year. Then at the end, you would return the age. Let's take this for a spin. Let P equals new person with the name of Bob, and he was born yesterday, so October 31st, 2023. Now instead of calling a method, you can access it by just writing p.age. The setter in this context isn't too helpful, as the only thing that would change the person's age is the passage of time. At some point within the last couple of years, JavaScript introduced private attributes, meaning attributes that aren't accessible outside the class. You can change this code to make private attributes by saying before the constructor, #name, #age. Then you change the constructor by typing this.hashname equals name and this.hashage equals age. As is, if you tried to make Bob and access age again, you wouldn't be able to. So you have to define a getter. To define a getter for name, you would type out exactly getName. Your logic inside the getter would then be return this.hashname. Likewise, the getter for age would be a method named get_age, and the logic would be return this.hashage. Now, if you tried to make Bob and access his name and age, you would get back Bob and 0 respectively. Now, you might think the utilities of setters in this case is useless again, because why would you want to give access to values that you went through the process to make private? Because you can set the terms of how a value is changed and validate if a change should even be allowed to happen. For example, you could do a setAge method with the parameter being new age. Inside, you could just simply return if the type of new age isn't number. You could also just return if the age is negative. Then finally, when those checks have been passed, you can do this.hashage equals new age. Like and subscribe to learn more.